people's actions have consequences. And that when we as a party say we support women's leadership, we actually do that. You know, the majority of the time there is sexual harassment or assault cases between legislators and staff in the Capitol. It's the staffer who leaves, right? Not the representative. And that is really wrong, and it's time for that to change.
Everything has been taken away from him. Everything that makes us be able to represent the people, was taken away from him. He's not able to be part of caucus. He's not able to be on committees anymore or task forces, things like that. And so the people of the 90th don't have a seat at the table. And this is about the people of the 90th.
A caucus is an organization of individuals who fall under one party whose job it is to work together and advocate for their common goals. So when you lose the privileges of caucus, you also lose the privileges of committee. Mm-hmm. And in addition to, whether or not we're hearing from a congressman, from a governor, from a department secretary, or another guest, which we have in caucus, we also hear from, we get HR training through caucus. We get briefings from the Legislative Fiscal Bureau on budget numbers and projections through caucus. We have our legislative council attorneys come in sometimes for caucus. So I do believe, from January on, I'm the vice chair of a task force that the representative from the 90th was kicked off. We introduced 10 bills with members of another caucus. And he wasn't a part of any of that. And he not only lost his spot on the committee, but had no idea what those bills looked like because he wasn't in that caucus. I gave my whole caucus a briefing on the bills and where they were at and how I negotiated across the aisle to do it. And he wasn't there. He didn't know those bills existed yet.
I talked about this from a school board perspective because I think it's difficult for a lot of people to conceptualize what caucus and committee work looks like, right? It's not something that's familiar, even language that's familiar to most people. And what I've said is, imagine if I showed up just for school board meetings and took votes. Would you think that was acceptable? Would I be doing my job? And people said, no, absolutely not. And I said, would I be informed, right? Would I be building the relationships? And their answer is no. And I think when I can put it that way to people, they understand the scope of the concern and our representation in Madison.
It isn't just about the meetings you have as a caucus, which we've been having almost weekly. It's also the relationships and the trust you build with other members of the caucus. And when you betray that trust, it's frankly gone forever. For me, it's gone forever. I see, his ability to work with folks like us completely severed. And that's an important piece for people to know about.